All right, the Reds, it is the Spion Kop. It is Pete Bolstead. I've got Ashley Johnson with me. Liverpool are through to the FA Cup quarterfinals. It's exactly where we want to be. Today, we're going to talk about that Wolves game and maybe touch upon the previous Wolves game and what maybe we should have done. We certainly got the results anyway. That's what's important. Who we won in the next round, we'll touch upon that, and we'll even build up to the Galatasaray game. Are Liverpool better suited for cup games? Is this just the cup team now? Can we do it this season? Look, we'll look forward to all of that in the show. But first of all, Ash, is the result was there. That's all that matters. That's what I was trying to get to that point in the previous weeks. Then the performance happened on the Tuesday night in the Premier League, and you're like, well, if the performance is not there and the result's not there, it's simply not acceptable. But it was a better performance, and we did get the result. Did you think it was night and day difference? Because in the first half, for me personally, they were a little bit quicker. They had a little bit more intent, but they didn't really create a lot. And then when we did get the goals, it sort of then opened the game up.
Definitely, I totally agree. First half didn't really create as much as we did second half, but we did lack that ounce going forward, especially from the left from Rio. I thought he was superb, but in terms of actual chances created, I didn't think the first half was very good, that wise, but second half was much better.
There's a consistency in how Liverpool are setting up. So, for example, when I noted in the first half was that when a centre half stepped out, someone stepped in. When a midfielder stepped out, another midfielder stepped in. It seemed to be very much like we're going to nullify the opposition, which is a good way to go. And tactically, you need to protect yourself. But at the same time, you're playing a team that has probably been relegated since September. There's an argument to say that maybe actually, yeah, attack with a little bit more intent, a little bit more quicker, essentially. Liverpool have struggled to score goals in the first half of the season. I don't know the exact number, but I seen it the other day and it's quite strikingly high. They just don't start well. Arne Slot said last week that they have the same approach from the first minute as they do to the last minute. That's all right saying that. Well, then, I'm going to delve into that then and say, well, if that is the approach, why is it so conservative?
I think it's just in terms of the players that we've got. I think we've just, especially with injuries to Florian Wirtz at the moment, we've lacked that attacking threat on the right-hand side with Frimpong not being inside. I think we're just lacking that creative numbers throughout the squad, and we're just relying on the same old players who aren't informed themselves at the moment.
So you just simply think it's a squad issue? So like moving forward, let's say, for example, Liverpool were to sign two brilliant wingers next season and we're we're scoring goals in all parts of the match. It looks like Liverpool are looking like a bit of the old days. Do you think that's just simply a squad issue, or do you think it might be deeper rooted that actually tactically Arne Slot might be a bit more, when we think about boxing, a bit more like Floyd Mayweather and less Manny Pacquiao? Do you think it's definitely a squad issue, or do you think it's literally a stylistic approach from Arne Slot?
I think it's a bit of both, because if you go back to last season, he did have the pacey wingers, didn't he? He obviously had Diaz on the left. He had Nunes, who had a bit of pace on him. But again, it was quite conservative when you compare it to like a Jurgen Klopp team the years before. But I think if we did, say for example, if we did went out and buy Semenyo and another wide player in January, I think you would have noticed that bit of difference and a bit of quality going forward. But I can see where you're coming from. I think it is a bit of both.
I'm still confused, you see. So on the previous show, I had Christos here and we were talking about stylistically, what is it? What is his identity? I'm still not sure. I know he's definitely more of an attacker manager. I know that it's definitely more exciting. I just think when you're playing Wolves, or we were bottom of the Premier League, or when we played Leeds at home, for example, that we should have went for the kill a bit more when we played Leeds away. When we were 2-0 up, there was people saying that, well, the game was done and he didn't do anything wrong. For me personally, a Jurgen Klopp side, when it's 2-0, we're in so much control, then you go for the third goal.
Oh, 100%, he would have killed it off.
This one as well, against Wolves, I don't know if there was that much difference between the two performances up until, let's say, the 70th minute, other than the fact that Liverpool scored 2 goals. But then what people are going to say is to me, well, we scored 2 goals and then opened up the game. That's fine. It was very West Ham away in the sense that you score 2 quick goals and it completely changes the game. I don't want to take the shine away from the performance, and you don't want to be too negative when you win a game. But if Liverpool didn't score those 2 goals, and we know they did, but if they didn't, did you see that there was an improved in the mentality and an improved in the intent? Do you think that Liverpool would have managed to get the result regardless, or do you think it might have, like we've seen them mentally cave in at the end only 3 nights before?
Goals definitely change games, don't they? So yeah, I'm with you. I don't think we see massive improvements from the Tuesday night. Just that with the fact that we did score them 2 goals quite close together. But yeah, no big improvements, but we took the chances, and then that opened the game, didn't it?
Andy Robertson was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It was refreshing to see. Sometimes when I look at Kirkers, and I know he's massively improved, but I just don't see him as, well, I've been watching Andy Robertson for 9 years, so I don't see him stylistically similar. I expected Kirkers to sign in the summer and beat a man and go beyond and whip crosses in. I just haven't seen that. And tactically, again, I'm going to go back to the tactics because it's a bit muddied up in the sense that, well, what is the instruction from the manager? Is Kirkers going to be that inverted fullback? And we don't know exactly what he's being told to do. But then I seen Andy Robertson overlapping. I seen Andy Robertson having a nice shot. I know it was unusual for Andy Robertson to score an absolute screamer. Yeah, it was refreshing, but it was fantastic. But overlapping your man and putting crosses in, obviously getting the assist was fantastic. Is that because it's Andy Robertson, or is it down to manager instruction?
It's down to opinion, that, isn't it? Because is it also down to the attacker in front of Andy Robertson or the left back? Because Andy Robertson was playing with Rio on that left, so if it would have been Gakpo on that left, would he have still been overlapping? And I know that Andy Robbo's been doing that for 9 years, like you've just said, but I think it solely depends on who his partnership is with on that left-hand side. Gakpo's notoriously cuts in on his right foot all the time, doesn't he? And he doesn't really look for that overlap, whereas I thought the link-up between Andy Robbo and Rio on Tuesday was brilliant.
It's like they've been playing together for 9 years, but let's just think, let's do the math. What is it? How old would Rio have been when he signed for Liverpool? When Robertson signed for Liverpool, he would have been what? He would have been
8.
8? Yeah, is it? Yeah, it would have been 8, yeah. 8. So it was definitely the first time they've been playing with each other.
Yeah.
It was so refreshing to see Rio. It was so refreshing to see a winger with a bit of pace and beat his man. I was a bit worried about Rio when I watched them over the last year. I remember he played against Accrington Stanley. He looked like he'd done too many step overs. I know he's only a young lad, so we can't think too much like that. But he didn't look to me as dynamic as maybe I wanted. He looked like a nice football that maybe cut inside a bit like what you said about Gakpo. But he was definitely incisive, and that was definitely refreshing to see, and it's definitely what Liverpool need.
100%, and I think now he's... didn't he come out against... Who did he play for 20-odd minutes? I think it might have been against Nottingham Forest, but then he done a little interview after the game, and he said he was always open to take on a new challenge and stuff like that. So I think he's always going to be taking his opportunity when he can. So he's got that more intense in him, and I think because he's 17, he's got no fear in his play, has he?
Got no fear, but if you're good enough as well, then you believe yourself. I was watching the overlap this week. I don't know if you watched that. Did you watch it?
I didn't see this episode.
So Gareth Bale was talking, and obviously he's been possibly the best foreign export from the British Isles in Europe ever. He's got 5 European Cups. He said that the moment against Inter Milan when he scored, was that the hat-trick or did he score 4?
I did see that, but actually, yeah. Yeah, he scored a hat-trick, didn't he?
Yeah, he certainly got a hat-trick. He might have scored all 4. I can't remember, but he said that was the moment because they were building up before the game that Michael was the best right-back in the world.
Yes, that was right, yeah.
And all the lads were saying, oh, you're against him. And he was like, oh, bloody hell. And he ends up then rinsing him, and it's supposed to, because he was the best right-back in the world, to give him, well, I can do this to anyone. Rio's only going to get that. He believes in himself already. But the more and more he plays, the more and more he's going to feel empowered, basically, on that left-hand side. But there's only one way you can do that, and that's by playing football games.
100%. And even on Tuesday, every time he got the ball, he was always looking to take on his man, whether that was a step over, using his pace. The total opposite from Cody Gakpo, who just wants to, don't want to say it all the time, but he's always cutting in on his right. He's just one-dimensional for me, where Rio's just box of tricks, isn't he? And if it doesn't come off one time, it'll come off the next time.
And because he is so dangerous, it creates a space then, which then led to the second goal. So it created the space. The ball goes to Andy Robertson. He smashes it across, and it's Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah now has one goal more than the record goal scorer for Manchester United, which is lovely to see. If there was two footballers on the pitch, I know me personally, they were the two footballers that I would want to score on Friday night, and that was lovely to see as well.
Yeah, definitely. And maybe Joe Gomez has got a shout in there as well, with him never scoring a goal before, professional goal that is. But yeah, definitely, it's always nice to see Mo on the goal scoring sheet, isn't it?
He's got 9 this season, which is the same as Saka. Mohamed Salah is on his way down, finished, washed up, as they all say. Saka's in the prime of his career. I think there's a clear narrative against Mohamed Salah, which is probably unfair. But also it shows you how great he is. If that Saka is in the prime of his career, he's playing for the team that are going to win the league. And he hasn't even managed to surpass Mohamed Salah by any means.
100%. I don't think Saka's obviously a great player, isn't he? But he's just not on the standards of Mohamed Salah. He's not consistent enough. I think he's only had like a couple of assists or a couple of goals in I think it might have been assist actually in a calendar year. So look at the numbers that Salah's been producing, for the 9 years he's been at Liverpool.
Since the end of October, Liverpool have won 9 games in the Premier League, but only once, and won 7 in the cup competitions, which said that the wrong way around, shouldn't I? Should have said they won 7 in the cup and only won 9 in the Premier League, which shows you that Liverpool might be a bit more of a cup team. It might be the fact that it's psychologically affecting them in the Premier League. Sometimes it's refreshing to go and play in a cup competition. We've seen that this week, that they had the immediate time or the immediate chance to get a reaction against Wolves. It's the same team, it's a different competition. It feels a little bit different when Liverpool are playing in cup competitions at the moment. You feel like you believe in it a bit more. Do you think it's a style thing? Obviously not with the Wolves one, because the Wolves comparison's a bit silly really, but I'm talking about maybe in Europe when Liverpool have had opportunities. I know the FA Cup is sometimes you're playing easier opposition, but more Europe really I'm thinking about. Do you think that it is a style of Liverpool that I find that easier?
Definitely, I think it's being proven this, especially with the stats that you just said, since the end of October. I think there's just less transition in Europe. I think teams just want to play a bit more football, don't they? They're not heavily reliant on set pieces, long throws. Go back to the transition part, I think in the Premier League as well. I don't think Liverpool have got the players in the midfield, especially to be coping with these defensive transitions. Just haven't got the legs. McAllister can't run. Curtis Jones, as much as hard work he wants to put in, I don't think he's got the running capacity to get back very quickly. And the squad's just a bit unbalanced at the moment for me. We haven't got that specialist number 6, have we? Who can get us out of danger, when we're on the defensive.
Yeah, no one senses danger, I believe. The thing I've got as well, though, Ash, is the issue I have with it. Stylistically, I think all the things you've just said is absolutely bang on. Is it psychological as well? Because when you've got to, we just think about the 2 games against Wolves, for example. We know we had to win to qualify for the Champions League. Unless you don't, and you didn't have to win, and we qualify anyway. There was no ifs, buts, or maybes. You had to win on Friday night to get through to the next round. And when the pressure's on in the cup competitions, the Liverpool players might be looking around saying, well, we can't afford to be messing around tonight, otherwise we're out. Do you think it's that, or do you think it's just a coincidence?
I don't think we lack the complacency on purpose. I think it's, like you said, it might just be a psychological effect where it's like, we've got to get a win here, or we're out of this competition. And I think it might be in the players' minds that we can actually win these 2 competitions as well. So there's more emphasis and more importance on the FA Cup and the Champions League, where the players know that obviously we're not going to win the league title this season, but every game in the league still a must-win make sure that we're in them Champions League positions come the end of the season.
But it's difficult to win every game in the Premier League, isn't it? When you're not a great side. Liverpool are certainly not a great side now. No. So sometimes when you're not a great side, you mentally can't get up for it because literally you're not a great side. Great players get up for every single game. FA Cup quarter-final, the draw is later. It is, I think it's 7:05. So that's what we're looking at. We know the big ones are in this now, aren't they? There's Chelsea, there's Arsenal, there's City, there's us. I think when you're looking at the other side, you're not really thinking realistically. I mean, we might be massively underestimating them, but you have to think really, though. It's one of them four that are going to go and win the FA Cup. Yeah. Who do you want? Do you want a home game?
Probably prefer a home game, but I think some of our better performances have come on the road this season. Especially in the Champions League and other cup competition. We played Arsenal in the league. Thought that was a good performance as well. I obviously prefer a home game because we'll be going for a kick-off. So I'll take any of the big sides at home.
Would you prefer a big side rather than, let's say, for example, Port Vale or Sunderland? I can't even remember who's gone through. So if you were going to play someone like Port Vale, would you rather someone like them, or would you rather have a big side?
If you play a big side at home, you've always got that added confidence with you, haven't you? But then again, if you knock them out, if you play Port Vale, then you've got to play one of the big sides at Wembley, and then it's just a 50-50 tie at that moment.
I think that's what my thing is that would you rather play Arsenal in the quarter-final at Anfield, or would you rather play them in a semi-final at Wembley or a potential final? But at the same time, you'd also want the final to be good, don't you?
Yeah.
Like, I want to say I think Michael Owen was on the programme the other night, and they were asking him about his greatest moments in a Liverpool shirt or in his career, and he was going about the FA Cup, but he said about the opponents as well, because when he scored those goals, it was against Arsenal, and you want to be playing a real top opponent. The only opponent that I don't want in an FA Cup final is Chelsea. I'm just so bored of playing them.
Yeah, definitely. I think a couple of seasons ago when we played Man City in the semi-final, that was just a brilliant semi-final, wasn't it? Worthy of being a final, and then we beat them in a great game, and then we played Chelsea again in the final. And yeah, the semi-final was well better. So
it was unbelievable that day, wasn't it? Yeah. The sun was cracking the flags, wasn't it? It should have been the final. That would have been great, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And they shouldn't have come back. It was 3-2. I always think of it as a 3-0 win, but it was actually 3-2, wasn't it? There was night and day. The game was over when it was 3-0. That's what I feel like anyway. Moving on then, despite, we'll see who Liverpool get. This is obviously the time of recording that the FA Cup draw hasn't happened. Hopefully we do get a home game. Hopefully we do progress, because an FA Cup would be very, very welcome this season. But moving on, we've got Galatasaray away on... Well, tomorrow now it is, sorry. I was going to say Tuesday. They've just won the derby. They've beaten Besiktas away. They've gone 7 points clear in the league. An absolute massive result. Leroy Sané was sent off for them. Besiktas were 18 games unbeaten. So to go away there and win your derby, go down to 10 men, keep a clean sheet, it shows you how disciplined they can be. Get the result and go 7 points clear. It really, really puts them in a buoyant mood, and it puts them into good stead going into Tuesday.
100%. They'll be confident, won't they, coming into this game against Liverpool now. And I think with the return leg, they've got no fans coming to Anfield, have they? So it just puts that added more pressure onto this game for them. So they've got to go out, put a performance in, get a result to bring back to Anfield again without any fans. But yeah, no good result for them at the weekend.
Talking about styles earlier, Ash. Europe might suit Liverpool. It might suit that transition in midfield, or the lack of capability to combat transition in midfield. Galatasaray are a little bit more direct. They proven that against us early in the season, and they certainly done that when I watched them against Juventus a few weeks ago. So they're very direct. They are very fast, and they press well, and they're aggressive, especially in front of those fans. When I watched them against Juventus, they absolutely obliterated them. It was 5-2. It could have been more. You even have long throws. I see long throws in the Champions League. I don't think it's like the Premier League, but I did see it happen. Is this the worst opponent now, do you think? Because we obviously could have played Atleti. But now that we get closer to the game, how are you feeling about it?
I'll always be confident with a Liverpool side playing in Europe. I think, especially this season, think we're just suited to cup games at the moment. So I feel like we can go toe-to-toe with them. We've definitely got the quality. Florian Wirtz coming back. I don't know if he'll play. I know we'll probably go on to squad predictions shortly. But with some of our attacking players at the moment coming through, I feel like we'll be able to go toe-to-toe with them, yeah.
Well, that was my next question I was going to ask you, because now that we're getting into the latter stages of the Champions League, it's all right saying like, well, you know, we'll go toe-to-toe with this side, go toe-to-toe with that side, and just be Liverpool and just play your own game. But you'll also have to be a bit smart. I was also listening to an interview and we were talking about managers, and actually being a manager sometimes at a big club, the big tactical moments are in the bigger games. Do you think Liverpool are just too good for Galatasaray? I know it doesn't matter that we got beat. I think that was a different part of the season. Yeah. We didn't have to win. Liverpool do have to win this tie, not the game, but the actual tie. Do you think that tactically Arne Slot will be very much the same, or do you think there will be, I don't know, maybe an Inter Milan performance, maybe a bit more like Rafa Benitez, where it's like, you know, we're gonna protect here, we're gonna nullify the opposition? Do you think that's what you'll set up by, or do you think Liverpool will just go for the win?
I think we'll definitely we've got the capacity to win the tie. I don't know if we'll necessarily win the first leg, but I think it'll just be the same old really. Don't think we've really got the options to change too much. I would like to see either an Inter Milan performance or a Marseille performance. I thought they were probably our best two performances of the season. So if we put another one of them out on Tuesday night, more than confident again in the results.
You spoke about Arsenal away earlier on, Inter Milan just then. That type of performance is perfectly fine in this, isn't it? So I think it's mad, isn't it, when we're talking about the Champions League, in a weird way, there's a less of an expectation on the performance, because you understand that the opposition, when Liverpool are facing sides like Leeds or Wolves, maybe you're a bit more with a critical eye. And maybe that's part of the problem. But they do have some danger men, Victor Osimhen being one of them. I don't know if he's as good as what people thought he was over the past few years. I don't know. How about yourself?
Yeah, no, I've never... he's always been linked with Man United, has he? And Chelsea the odd times, but he's never been linked with like a move to us when we were in our prime, or City. So I'm with you, and he's now at Galatasaray. I'm thinking if he was... I'm not saying he's not half decent, but if he was the striker that people are talking about, would he not be at another top class side in Europe, whether that be in Spain or back to Italy with someone else?
Yeah, he's a bit of a, I don't know, mate, he's a little bit of a flat track bully, I think. He did score some goals for Napoli, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like for consecutive seasons. I'm not sure the jury's out on that one. They have got Gundogan though, which we know, and I know he's getting on a little bit, but he does score important goals, and he has scored against us previously. He's a little one that I worry about. They've got Lamina and they've got Torreira, who's a bit of a battler in midfield.
Yeah.
I got Leroy Sané as well, and he'll be fresh because he got the last half an hour off away to Besiktas. So there's quite a few danger men there, and players with pace as well. Are you concerned at all?
Yeah, I'm obviously concerned. There's no guarantees that we're going to progress to the next round, but I feel like if Liverpool just turn up, do the job, players stick to the manager's tactics, I think we'll be fine.
Do you think Liverpool have to win the game?
Not necessarily, no.
No?
I'd take a draw now, bring them back to Anfield. Again, no fans for them. Get the job done there.
The draw will be fine. Obviously, there's no away goals now, and there hasn't been for a few years, but that sort of changes it a little bit as well. That's why I think Liverpool might be a little bit more conservative, because you've just said they don't need to win the game, but they don't need to score either, because you can afford not to get that away goal. How do you expect then tactically? I know that we said that you think that Liverpool don't really need to shut up shop a little bit when you think about players like Sané though, and you think about that right back position. I won't go into too much detail about team selection because we'll do that in a moment, but we seen Dom Szoboszlai play right back the other day against Wolves. Do you anticipate a bit more of a respect towards Galatasaray, knowing that he'd be playing on that flank? Or will Will he be playing on the flank, actually? He does play on the left-hand side, doesn't he, for Galatasaray? I know he did for City.
I think he plays on the right. I think they've got a lad called Yilmaz who plays on the left.
Ah, right, okay. So, yeah, so I've just got confused there. He did play on the left for City, though, didn't he?
Yeah,
and
he
in
caused
Bayern Munich,
Trent
yeah.
a couple of problems, didn't he, when past experience.
Yeah, but still, they've got quality in the wide areas.
100%.
That's absolutely clear. Do you think he'd risk Frimpong? And I know that it's like we're not doing Frimpong, like we're doing him a disservice here, saying like, well, he can't defend. Well, of course, he's got that recovery pace. He's brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about his hamstring recently, and he's still coming back. Do you think he goes with Szoboszlai, for example?
I think he'll put Don back in the midfield, to be honest with you. I think we just need them legs, especially away from home, you know, in the middle of the park. But I was thinking about that on the way over to the studio this morning. Would he play Joe Gomez there for more of a defensive right back? Or does he play Jeremy Frimpong because you've got that attacking element then and it frees up Mohamed Salah when we're going forward? So, yeah, I'm not too sure myself, to be honest with you.
It was nice to see Frimpong come on, though, and
Yeah.
give you, I don't know, like some refreshing legs, of course, but also a bit of pace.
Yeah.
And when players are tiring, that might be an option.
Oh, 100%, yeah. Yeah, he had a few nice touches, didn't he, when he come on? I think
Yeah. All I heard was Chris down here, because we had a little bit of an exchange last week that he was saying Frimpong should be playing further up.
Yeah.
I said he can do a shift there, but he's predominantly a right back and he should be a right back. We've seen Chris's argument that actually he offers something up there as well, didn't we?
Oh, 100%. And I think he is a very good right back as well. I think he's just got that good attacking element, hasn't he? So we're quite spoiled in that aspect, really.
Team then. I thought we might have seen Mamardashvili in the FA Cup. He has been complaining a bit recently that he's not getting enough game time. I think, sounds like I'm always going in and on a slot, and you compare the current manager to the previous manager, especially when the previous manager was such a good manager. But the man management of Jurgen Klopp was brilliant, and I'm not as sure now with Arne Slot when you see players, and it doesn't mean that every player is right, by the way, so Mamardashvili might be wrong, but he isn't playing many games, and I know that we jacked the League Cup in very early, but Jurgen Klopp had a knack to keep everyone happy. Like, I never heard Raheem Kelleher coming out and complaining, and the squad players, when he wasn't playing a lot of football games, all felt like they were part of something. With Arne Slot, there's quite a few footballers now. Andy Robertson sounds a bit disgruntled.
Yeah.
Mohamed Salah previously. Now you've got Mamardashvili. Do you think he doesn't utilise these footballers enough?
Yeah, there's an argument to say that, but I think the differences between Arne Slot and the previous manager at this moment in time, Arne Slot's got a job to fight for, hasn't he? So if you were the manager now, who would you be putting in goal?
So if in goal, I think definitely you're going to go with Alisson, so there's no doubt about that. But if he's, the thing is, you've signed Mamardashvili for like 36 million or something like that. So it's not bringing in, it doesn't feel like you're bringing in a second choice keeper.
Oh, no.
I think it's like a first choice keeper. So for the FA Cup, I wouldn't have been too worried if he would have started. I'm more thinking about like, well, would I have played Robertson more? Probably would have.
Yeah.
But we'll go. We'll pick the team then. Let's pick the team. So we've got Alisson in goal, because there's no doubt that he's playing there. We'll start with, I always start with the right back, and we'll start with the left back this time. Andy Robertson has just got...
He had a great game, didn't he?
Man of the match, yeah. He's got man of the match. Does he go again? Has he proved the point, or was he simply just resting Kerkers?
I think he was resting Kerkers. He didn't play a single minute, did he, against Wolves on Friday? So I think he goes back straight in, Kerkers, but I'd have no objection with Robbo having a second game as well.
Centre-halves, I think they picked themselves.
Yeah.
So then the big question then is right back, because the right back then chooses the midfield, doesn't it?
100%.
Who are we going with?
I'm going with Frimpong. Just adds to that attacking quality going forward, just linking up with Mohamed Salah. I think when Salah hasn't had anyone overlapping him, he's been struggling in games at the moment, hasn't he? So, yeah, I'll go for Frimpong on that side.
What do you think the manager will do, though? Do you think he'll do that, or do you think he'll play Gomez?
No, I think he'll go for Frimpong as well.
I'm not sure, you know. No. And the reason why, because I think what I alluded to before, I think sometimes you need to be able to change a game. And I think Arne Slot, whether he admits it or he doesn't, sets up not to get beat and to stem the wave of attacks and the opposition, especially when you're away from home. And I think Galatasaray fans will be absolutely nuts, and they're going to be, we saw about the players before being in a buoyant mood, the fans are certainly going to be in that type of mood. The ties level at the start of kickoff because it's the first leg, so they've got no reason why they're not going to be right up for it. And I think Liverpool will probably go with Gomez personally, or maybe Dom. I think he might just go Dom, which concerns me a little bit. I'm going to go with Dom. I think he will play. I would do what you're saying possibly, but I would definitely think. Do you know what? Actually, I'm going all around the world. Yeah, I would go Gomez and I'd play Dom in midfield.
Yeah, I wouldn't be against that. I think.
Yeah, I think Dom will play right back though, which then makes a midfield problem. But you've gone with Frimpong, so I want to know your midfield, Ash.
Dom, Gravenberch. I would say Curtis Jones as well, just because he'll probably keep the ball a bit more. I think he'll rest Macher this on Tuesday.
Oh, do you think he won't play now?
No, because he played a good chunk of the Wolves game on Friday, and he played 80 minutes or something like that. So
he doesn't like starting Curtis Jones at the moment, though. There's a clear trend that over the last couple of months, he's just not getting picked. No. So I don't know about the McAllister one. I think McAllister probably still plays.
Yeah.
I'm going to go McAllister, Gravenberch, and I'm going to go... Well, I said Gomez will play right back, didn't I?
So you're going Dom in the midfield then? Dom, Gravenberch and Macher?
Yeah, do you know what, though? I was just thinking, I think Wirtz will start. I think they've saved him. So then I'm confusing everyone, I'm confusing me. I do apologise, but that's how difficult it is to pick a team that we've only got about 12 players.
Yeah.
Let's go back. Dominic Szoboszlai will play it right back, and then I'm going to go McAllister, Gravenberch, who's just signed a new 6-year deal, which is great, by the way. And then we have Florian Wirtz. I think Wirtz comes back in for this game. I can't see why.
He looked comfortable, didn't he? The 20 minutes that he got, you didn't see any really problems in terms of movements and stuff like that. So that wouldn't shock me, but I just don't know.
I think he was getting the cobwebs off him, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Hugo Ekitike was obviously rested.
Yeah, he's starting.
Should we start?
Yeah.
Mohamed Salah's starting.
Yeah.
The other one is Rio or Cody Gakpo.
I think he'll just go with the experience of Cody Gakpo. I think their fans are just going to be fired up from the get-go, aren't they? So I think I'd have no problems by all means playing Rio on the left, but I think he'll start with Cody and then Rio might get 10-15 minutes towards the end.
I agree. I don't even think he comes on, if I'm honest.
No,
I think you just see the game. I think if you want to see him start, I'd like to see him start at home to Spurs. I think that'd be a good game for him.
Yeah.
With Rio, I think when we talk about protecting footballers and protecting young kids, I think playing them away to Galatasaray is what you mean by protection. And also the fact that I think he come off in about 60 minutes, didn't he? Because you have to protect the body as well. Yeah. So you can't keep playing them and playing them. So it's 3 days later. I can't see him playing at all. He will be there on the bench, of course. Just to digress for one moment, Rio Ingamo got man of the match, and he was certainly a bright spark. But when we talk about protecting footballers, I actually think when we see media and we see, I think it was Danny Murphy gave him the man of the match. I'm sure. It might have been someone else. I'm not really sure. I think he was man of the match. I think he played 60 minutes. I think to be man of the match, you need to be the best player on the pitch. Yeah. And I thought Andy Robertson was the best player on the pitch. And I think when footballers or former footballers, they look through a lens of bias, and the bias then comes out and says, well, this kid's come on. He's a different to Cody Gakpo. He's playing the game differently. He's done really well for a 17-year-old. Yeah. But to be man of the match, you need to be the man of the match, not to be good for a 17-year-old. And that's not to take anything away from his performance. But then he's coming out and he's got this award and he's like, oh, it's great. And look what I've done. And it's not that you shouldn't build someone up. I do worry that we build young players up too much.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah, 100%. Like you said, I thought he had a brilliant game, but for me personally, I agree with you. I think Robbo should have took that man of the match award, especially with the likes of Alan Shearer, and he was coming out at the end of the game, wasn't he, saying he should be playing more instead of Milos Kerkez, and he was coming across with that opinion. But Robbo's had some games this season where he struggled. So again, sometimes the media can just look through that one perspective, can't they? So yeah, I feel like spot on with your assessment. Robbo should have been man of the match that game.
We did digressed a little bit too much in the team selection, but I felt like it had to be said because I just don't know why they do it. We talk about protecting footballers. I think you need to protect them from themselves as well. Don't overhype them too much.
Yeah.
Score prediction?
Gonna go for 1-1.
1-1.
1-1.
I do worry that they'll attackers. I'm just gonna. I feel like it's gonna be an Inter Milan game, but I'm gonna go 1-0 Liverpool. I think they will win 1-0.
Yeah.
I just think Arne Slot will set up in a way that will just nullify the opposition. It might be boring, but because we're playing in the Champions League, we don't really care. We just want to win football games, and let's hope we do that. We will be back on Friday, I think. I think that's what we've got in the calendar anyway. So it will be Friday. So keep a lookout for that one. Right now, it has been the Spion Kop. It has been Pete Bolster. If you can just do us a favour, if you can like and you can subscribe, that'd be fantastic. Any team selections in the comments. Maybe you got confused with the whole right back situation. I'm still confused about it. I don't even know who I've picked. So let us know your team. Let us know your thoughts. But if not, we will see you Friday. See you soon.